Hey guys, we are super excited. Tournament time is here. Tournament is coming up tomorrow, coming up at Mangum High School. Just want to give a quick video, just a couple of things to remind you. It's a lot to type, and I know not everybody always reads everything we type. So real quick, just the things to make sure that you have with you. Obviously, your full uniform, including your white jacket. Please make sure you have your belt. There's a lot of stuff we can help with if you end up somehow not having. Belt isn't one of them because all those belt colors compete at the same time. But make sure you double check your child's gear bag before you leave the house. Make sure you've got your elbow pads, your shin pads, the groin protectors for boys, that you guys have that, the stuff that you can't see outside the uniform, but also their helmet, their mouthpiece, gloves, foot pads for green belts and higher. Sparring is part of it. Make sure you guys have all that. Plan to arrive 30 to 60 minutes before that competition time that is listed on the that was listed on that spreadsheet that we emailed out. Check your email, check your spam folder from trlamemberships@gmail.com. We sent that out. If for some reason you didn't get it, it's okay. But I do want you to look at that and just make sure that that competition time is the same as what it was. Again, the reminders, 9 a.m. is ages 16 and up, all ranks. 10 a.m. is 12 to 15-year-olds, all ranks. 11 a.m. is 6 to 11-year-old brown and red. Noon is Tiger Cubs. 1 o'clock, 6 to 11-year-old white and yellow belts. 2 o'clock, 6 to 11-year-old green belts. And 3 o'clock, 6 to 11-year-old, both blue belts and black belts, obviously not in the same ring. That's just they tend to go together well. So when you arrive, remember again, so it's Mangum High School, Mangum, Louisiana. You can Google that. It's on Main Street in Mangum. If you've ever been to Mangum, you already understand it's like an extremely tiny town. But we picked that location. Again, our Tiger Rock School, Master Stevenson School in Rayville is the host. We put it at Mangum. A couple reasons: a little bit newer facility. Also, his wife's a teacher there, so it made it a little bit easier for us to be able to get in, know that we had somebody who had keys there. As with all of our district and regional tournaments, there is a $10 spectator admission. That's cash or card, but I can tell you the cash line goes faster if you have exact change. So if you're wanting to get through that first line, pay those spectator fees, have that. Once you get inside, just find a spot in the bleachers, hang out. You'll see the rings are very clearly marked. We've got some new ring markers that look really nice. Master Stevenson did a lot of work on those. If it's before your competition time, just go ahead and find a spot in the stands, hang out and wait. You can swing by the t-shirt table. We do have some t-shirts for sale. One thing I will tell you is that all of our academies participating are bringing more people this time than they brought in November, so it's a good bit bigger tournament. So one thing that means is t-shirts will probably sell out. If your t-shirts are allocated based on the previous tournament, this one's bigger, so just got to keep that in mind. But you can stop by the t-shirt table if you're interested in getting one of those. If that ring says, if it says you're in ring 2B, all that means is that those are some smaller rings and that we're going through, there's 2 divisions in that ring at the same hour. 2B would mean that you're the second run. Normally that's happening in some of our 4-person rings that are only going to take about 25 minutes to complete. So you'll still be there. Remember, those times on the schedule are the times for you to make sure you're there, to be ready to go, to have already gone to the bathroom and everything else. It's not necessarily the start times of the divisions. Sometimes some people will be like, well, it said it was going to be at 1 o'clock, but it's 1:30 and we haven't started. Yes. Sometimes that happens because of the fact that, we're getting everything through. We want to move it as quickly as possible. We want to make sure it's a fun experience, though. Everything's fair, everything's safe, all of that. As far as the competition, Tiger Cubs, you're going to do the stuff you've done at your Cubs class with a Tiger Cubs instructor, either me, Mr. Larson, or Master Evangeline Stevenson there. And then as far as and then everybody else, you'll do your forms competition first, and then either your sparring or your player 2 sparring. Remember, green belts, you have the option to do either one. You can't do both, but you can decide that day. And then after you're done, once you get your medals, everything else. Oh, I forgot to mention the board breaking medals. We already did that in the academy. So before you do your competition or after, stop by the medal table, pick up your board breaking medal. If for some reason what they tell you got is not what you think you got, please don't argue with the person at the board table. Just come tell whoever your instructor is, whether it's me, whether it's Master Patrick Wagner, come tell one of us. We'll double check it when we get back there. We're the ones who put in that information. So there's a chance that it could be incorrect. We try to double check it, but every now and then there's usually one. But like I said, just please don't make a big deal there. The person working that table can't do anything about it. We'll get it straightened out if something is wrong. Afterwards, though, you can go and you can get your belt slider. Those are kind of like it would be Letterman patches. Think about like on your sleeve, like if you were a high school athlete. These go on your belt. They continue to move up. They show how you did in that tournament. So you can go pick one up depending on what you got. Depends on which one you can get, and then come and find us. Don't forget. We love to see how you did. We love to get selfies with you when we can. Moms, dads, take those pictures, post on social media. It is fun. It is so much fun to see it. I've been seeing in the lead up to this tournament pictures from Aiden over the last 10 years of competition in March. So it's really fun for those memories to pop back up. And just finally, just a couple of words on sportsmanship, parents, what we say on the way there, what we say afterwards. So the first thing that I know I've told every one of the students that I've talked to, it's the same thing that I always said to Aiden. Like, I'm so proud of you for doing the work to get to this point. You've worked hard to get ready for this tournament. It's made you better because of it. I'm proud of that. No matter what happens that day, I am proud of you. Make sure they understand that. And now it's like, now go have fun. Because ultimately, I want you to have a good time. What you win, yes, obviously it matters. If it didn't matter, we wouldn't keep score. Sure, it's more fun if you win. Like, I know that. But go have fun and make your focus on going out there, doing the best you can do. Have a good time. Cheer for your friends, everything else. And then after the tournament. So this is probably the biggest part. This is one of our biggest parts as a parent, to be able to teach some things that really matter. If we tell our kid all the time, the most important thing is that you try your best, you have fun, you play fairly, everything else. And then after the tournament, you make a big deal if they didn't do as good as you thought they would, either by telling them they didn't try hard enough. I don't think you guys would do that. Or by blaming the judges, blaming something else, everything else. Now your actions don't match your words. So do I have times that I disagreed with what the judges called in Aiden's ring? Yes. There are times I thought that he shouldn't have won that match. There are times I thought he should have. I didn't tell him either way. I just said, they're like, what do you think? Do you think I should have won? I said, I think that the judges gave their opinion. That's what they're there to do. And that is the easiest way out of that one. If you fixate on, well, I think that judge missed your point, everything else, you are raising somebody who is going to end up being a brat. That's just the cold, hard truth. You're teaching them that life isn't fair and other people get breaks and you don't get them, and that's just not the message that we want to give. Are judges going to miss points sometimes? Absolutely. They're human. Are judges going to outright cheat? No. Not only that, we balance the rings to make sure that we've got judges from each school when possible. Chances are, if you don't see any judges from your school and there's all judges from one school, that means there's no competitors from that school. We really make sure to keep that balance in there just so everybody's there. So tell them you love them, give them a hug, tell them they did a great job, encourage them to do the next one, come find one of us. We want to see how they did, and that's pretty much it. I will say one more thing. It's sorry, I have to step off frame. Forms in sparring are done in single elimination brackets. Any of you guys ever seen like March Madness is going on right now? This is kind of what it looks like. You'll be able to see this thing filling out as it goes. So as a parent, pay attention to that. If you watched your child win and you don't see their name advance up, say something right then. Like if it's Aiden going against, Hudson, and Aiden wins, but I see that they advanced Hudson up, I'm going to be like, whoa, time, coach, real quick. That is one time it is absolutely okay to interrupt the judges in what they're doing. Let's make sure it's right. It's easy to fix it then. It's really hard if nobody says anything, the wrong person advances all the way up. It can be a nightmare. It's rare. And by rare, I mean it's like a 1% of the time thing, but as soon as I say that, that means it's going to happen this time. That's just the way things work, right? All right, so anyway, like I said, go out there, have a blast. If you need anything, you can feel free to text any of the numbers that you have that you normally get in touch with us. Keep in mind, during the competition, though, sometimes our texts aren't going to be back right away. So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Good luck. Have a great day.